I think you have to think of a school as a community, and as a community, the most important thing is the people who make it up. So the students, the staff, the parents.
You never know what you're going to get. You can't completely predict it. It's not like a factory or a production line. It's just different all the time. That's what I like about here.
I was one of the few lucky principals that gets the opportunity to start a brand new school. When I've talked to other principals about that, they've talked about how hard it would have been and how many hours in the day you would spend doing it. And I just say it was a fantastic thing to do, and I'd do it again in a second if I had the opportunity to do it. So I'm really proud to have had the opportunity to be the first principal at Carrum Downs Secondary College, and really proud of what we achieved.
Yeah, it's just great. Like, I've just seen it grow and flourish from just a small school with not too many kids, not too many year levels, into just an absolute champion of a school. Like, it's really good.
It's a great place. The teachers are fantastic and the kids have great learning opportunities. The students at Carrum Downs are very lucky. They have lots of opportunities. They've had lots of teachers with lots of energy that have helped them to be involved in a whole lot of projects.
I remember the very first day was during the school holidays when all the staff got together to meet for the first time in the library, and we sat in a big circle and introduced ourselves, and yeah, it was all a bit nervous probably because no one really knew each other, and but yeah, we all I think we all got along really well, and that first year we had lots of good times and a lot of fun and met a lot of great people, so yeah, that was a major positive for me.
A fantastic place for me to work, and I loved every minute I was there. I was there for 4 years, I think, and was part of the staff in the very beginning. And I got to teach 7J. They were my first ever class. It's actually my first year 7s I've ever taught, and boy, I had no idea what I was doing. And they were very cute, and I'm sure you still are if you were in 7J then. They were a great group of kids. We actually used to have, it's a room called C6, I think, and we had C6, and I had about 20 kids in that room, and they were tiny things, and they all sat in rows and they all ruled margins, and I'd never seen a kid rule a margin for 10 years because I've been working in alternative schools. That was always very funny. So I guess that's a really great memory for me. I watched those kids go from year 7 to year 8, year 9, year 10. We did great things together.
I was employed earlier than most other staff, apart from Mari, to work with David to get the school ready for when everybody turned up on day 1. And I worked with David in term 4, 2003, out of an office in Sky Primary School, which was not big enough to swing a cat, and all our paperwork was there. So we spent hours. I used to look at David wondering if my whole life at Carrum Downs was going to be spent working till 8 o'clock every night. And no, it wasn't, we'll be pleased to know, but we spent many hours trying to get the school ready, and it was so exciting to be looking at our new rooms and working out what furniture we would have and what we would need for the teachers to start.
It was a very exciting time when the school first opened. I say to people it was a little bit like camping, that it was fun. It was challenging, it was exciting, but you had to do without some things. We only had a few buildings, we had 225 students, we had 1 year of curriculum, 1 year's worth of staff, and that was it. So
the area was once home to the Bunurong tribe, who knew the area as Carrum Carrum, or as the early settlers interpreted it, Garrum Gam, meaning boomerang. Overall, the shape of our logo is symbolic of both the boomerang in flight and the gentle curve of the geography looking north from Carrum Downs, with the wetlands portrayed as a network of pools following the coast. We wanted to have a logo that was distinct, modern and positive, and which conveyed the message that we are a community, working together to grow and go forward.
My experience at Carrum Downs was one that was both enjoyable and something that was very important for my development as a young man. And I think that if it was not for my experience at Carrum Downs, specifically for the efforts of the teachers of Carrum Downs, I wouldn't be where I am today. I'm almost certain of that. In my opinion, I think imparting motivation to a student is the most important thing that a teacher and a school can do, period. Because when that happens, when the students themselves are motivated, the student-teacher relationship is reciprocal and the efforts of the student are self-sustaining. And there's no one that can more effectively compel a student to do well than the students themselves, if they have been given that motivation by their teachers. And that's something that Carrum Downs did for me in Year 8. And that was what set me up, I think, to be able to do well in my later years at Carrum Downs. And so my relative success I attribute to Carrum Downs in the way that it provided me that motivation and it provided me with opportunities to test and develop my skills. And I think particularly I identify being in the debating team, being on the student council and being college captain as those opportunities that Carrum Downs gave me to develop my skills. And when it comes to being challenged and enjoying school, I think it was, for myself, as with probably many of my other schoolmates, probably Year 12 that was the most significant year in terms of both enjoying it and also being challenged and growing. In Year 12, there was no subject that I did not thoroughly enjoy, and there was no teacher that I had that did not motivate me and that did not equip me with the things I needed to do well in that subject. And as well as that, particularly the careers team were very helpful to me in being able to decide upon what I wanted to do after Year 12, which was a decision that took me a lot of time, but one that was, I think, a good decision when I finally came to it. And through the help of the careers team, I decided upon wanting to do an arts law degree, despite the fact that at that time I didn't think I'd be able to get that ATAR, but the ATAR required to get into that course. But the careers team encouraged me to have faith in myself, and as a result, at the end of Year 12 I achieved what I needed to get in, and I got in. And so it was through the support of Carrum Downs that I was able to do that. And so now I'm in my second year of my arts law degree, and I remember in my first year meeting all the new law students in the faculty. There were two things that you were asked when meeting someone new. And the first was, what was your ATAR? And the second was, what school did you go to? And to this day at uni, there's only been 2 other students that I've met that have come from public schools. But I get a sense of pleasure and pride when I tell those other students that I came from Carrum Downs Secondary College, and that's a public school, because you don't need to pay the big bucks to find teachers and a school that know what they're doing and that care about what they're doing. And I think that is what you'll find at Carrum Downs Secondary College.
Been some hilarious moments with some very funny staff members at end of year parties. Some students have done some hysterical things. They just, look, life is just, you want to have a big laugh every day, I reckon, at school.
My funniest moment at Carrum Downs was in Year 8 where we went on a school camp and we played a huge game of hide and seek.
Were you at the athletics day when Mr. Beecham did his hamstrings, a double hamstring in the relay? Can you remember him lying on the ground writhing in pain? Hilarious.
One time we were sitting in our old office, which is now the C10, the multimedia room, and somebody came in and said, there's a horse in the yard. And we went, "You're right, of course there is." And they went, "No, there's a horse in the yard. A girl has ridden a horse into the yard." And there was. And I mean, that's not something that happens every day. But, you know, every now and then we think to ourselves, gee, if we told people that this had happened in our school or in our classroom, nobody would believe us.
Maybe my funniest was when all of the SEP classes, musical instruments arrived at the school one afternoon before they were being given out to the kids. And Miss Walker tried them all. So she spent about an hour with every instrument, parading up and down the corridor here, attempting to play it, but it was terrible, really bad. And then she had to like get the disinfectant and spray them all, and then she must have gone through 10 instruments, and it was terrible.
Happy 10 years, Caradale.
Happy birthday, Karen Downs.
Happy birthday, CDSC.
Happy birthday, Karen Downs. I can't believe you're 10.
Happy birthday, Karen Downs. 10 years has gone really quickly, I can't believe it.
It's my birthday. We'll sing a birthday song. I'll blow the candles out. We're gonna have some fun, dancing all around. It's my birthday. Let's celebrate with plenty of big balloons. Hey, it's my birthday. We'll sing a birthday song and eat some yummy cake. But don't you eat too much, 'cause you'll get a bellyache. It's my birthday. Let's shout hooray. I'll open up my present from you.